Jessyca Canizales. Thanks for joining with Grace and Joy Yoga today. Coming onto your mat, we're going to work today through a short vinyasa practice that's meant to start at the base chakra and work towards the crown chakra. Just releasing some nice energy, balancing out those energetic hubs, using asana as the approach to do that. So the idea for this practice is that you've had a little bit of warming up, and this is a short sequence that you can use perhaps after you've warmed up a little on the floor, or you've already gone through 4, 5, 7, 8 sun salutations A, B, or C. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started by coming to the top of our mat and taking a slight pigeon-toed stance. So the toes are going to be slightly closer together than the heels, and this is nice to really open up and lengthen the hamstrings. We're going to take a moment here connecting with our base, with our root chakra. So we're going to really feel the power of our own body and frame and what it means and feels to stand still. So we're going to just feel the legs pressing into the earth, the perimeter of the feet making full contact with the ground. Pressing through the heels, I'm beginning to lift my kneecaps up into the hips. Pressing the pelvis forward to release the hips. And I'm just going to really hone in on this area, this root chakra, the base chakra. It's responsible for our sense of self, our sense of security, and feeling rooted, feeling grounded, feeling earthed, and like we have a belonging, a place. So we're just going to take a moment to find our place on the mat, to feel really good and at ease with that. Take our hands down, palms facing outward, shoulders down and back. A slight tuck to the chin so that the neck and the spine are really long. And we're just breathing here, feeling that connection, that contact with the ground. We'll inhale, take the toes, lift them up, spread them as we release. We're going to take it 2 more times. Inhaling, exhaling, really spreading and releasing those toes. Last time. And release. From here, we're going to take the hands to heart center, pressing down so the arms become parallel with the earth. We're inhale, pull the arms up. We can take it back if we like. Exhale, pull the belly in, hinge at the hips, lead with the heart. Come into this forward fold. Place the hands on the floor. Gaze here towards the belly. On the next inhale, flatten the back, bring the shoulders into the socket, bring the gaze towards the horizon. On the next exhale, press into the earth, walk or jump back into chaturanga. Elbows into the body, shoulders are up, bum is down. Inhale, press up. Come onto the arches, lifting through the thigh bones, pressing through the palms. Exhale, pull the belly high and hollow, coming up into downward dog, rolling through the feet and bringing the gaze now into the belly. Breathing here. One more nice breath. Again, really pushing and extending through the hamstrings. On the next inhale, we just rise the heels. Don't advance the hips forward. Exhale, look to the front of the mat, bend the knees, walk or jump the body there. Keep the knees bent, nice contact with the body. Shift the bum back, lift the chest up off the knees. This is again a nice posture for the root chakra, low to the ground, feeling that earthly connection. Breathing here, be sure to minimize any arching in the back and keep the abdominals engaged, not the quads and lower back. Next inhale, we rise the body upright, and exhale, bring it back. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, Fold it forward again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk or jump it back and down. Inhale. Shoulders back. Exhale, lifting high and hollow in the pelvis, coming into a downward dog. We're going to rise high to the toes. Exhale, push the knees into the chest. Moving now into the sacral chakra, the second chakra. This is at the base of the womb or the sexual organs. So we're just going to begin to start creating some contact here, pressing into this space, into the lower belly, and then extending. Next inhale, we're going to raise the right leg. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest and then across. Inhale, kick it back up. Open the hips, bend the knee. Take the knee again, bring it back into the elbow. Come into plank, take it down, press it up. Take it back up into dog and take it to the other side. Lift the left leg. Bend it, come center and then across. Take it back through center. Open, stacking the hips, bending the foot, and coming back again across the body. So we're making a nice crossing motion here, which brings the contact into the sacral chakra. Coming back to plank and bringing it back into chaturanga. Inhale, coming up and taking it back into downward dog. We're going to move now into the solar plexus or the manipuri, the tummy. So we're creating a lot of heat here. We're going to raise the right leg, bend the knee into the chest, towards the nose, high onto the foot, and push into plank. Holding here as high as we can. Coming back, take it to the other side, lifting the left leg. Bend the knee, high to the foot, coming into plank. Stepping it back, pushing it to dog. We're going to maybe just shorten the stance of our dog a little. And first take our right hand to the left hip. Gazes at the left armpit. Then we're going to slide that hand down the leg as much as we can. Maybe some of us are stopping here today. Maybe some of us can come to the ankle. We want to really cross here. And then slowly release. And we'll take it to the other side. Come into dog. Take the left hand to the right hip. Gaze under the right armpit. And bring the leg down. Appreciate the diversity in the body. One side might be more accessible than the other. We'll come back here. We're going to rise high to the toes. We're going to come back into the earth. We're going to take the right leg similarly like we did last time, rising it and opening the hips. Then we're going to bend the knee. And if we feel ready, we're going to let this foot lead us back into a bit of a back bend. Really releasing through the belly, but also lifting through that solar plexus. When we come back into a three-legged dog. We take the right leg and we extend it in front. And then we switch hands, taking it into a reverse. Coming back, taking it now to the other side. Lifting the left leg, opening, bending, releasing. Lifting up. Keep lifting with the belly. Coming through, cross it over, and reverse. Coming back, into downward facing dog. Rising high to the toes, gaze at the belly. Exhale, gaze to the front of the mat. Walk or jump it there. Lengthen. Release. Inhale, rise it up. Take it back. Bring it forward. Lengthen. Exhale. Coming up and back into dog. From here, we're going to start working the heart chakra. So we're going to inhale to the toes. Exhale to the knees, to the chest. Keep the bum lifted. Inhale, lifting through the heart. Exhale, taking it back to downward facing dog. 2 more times. Inhale, knees, chest, chin. Really pressing the heart into the earth. Inhale, pressing the heart up into the heavens. Exhale, taking it to dog. Last one like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, walk the toes out to the middle of the mat, extending past the space of your mat. Inhale, take the hands behind the back, keeping the palms together, straightening the elbows. And as you exhale, releasing here. Both the body into a bend and the fist to the earth. Gaze straight ahead towards the nose. Breathing here into the shoulder sockets. One more breath. Gently take the hands to the sacrum, release down to the ankles, and extend the heart towards the front of the mat, keeping the shoulders down and back. Nice flat back, open heart. Take the hands back into the front and step back into plank. We're going to drop the knees, bring the feet towards the bum, and release the hips to the earth, bringing the head towards the ceiling and the feet into the head. Coming back down, touch the third eye onto the mat, tuck the feet in, press up to plank, back to dog. Inhale to the toes, exhale, walk or jump it to the front of the mat. Nice long lengthen here. Exhale, tuck the chin, look at the navel once again. Now with the legs together, extend the hands behind the back, squeeze the palms, straighten the elbows. As you exhale, again, releasing the shoulders, bringing the fist down into the floor. Breathing here into the shoulder girdle. Trying to use the exhales to release. Take the hands down at the sacrum, rub down the back of the thighs, try to grab through the back of the calves, and just squeeze in a little deeper into the forward fold. As you inhale, lift up, shoulders down, heart shining. Exhale, release, hands at heart center. I'm going to rise the body. We're going to bend the right leg, taking right arm and grabbing at that arch. From here, we're going to slowly lift the right leg up into dancer, keeping hips and shoulders square. Breathing here, opening the heart. As we exhale, bring the knee up into the chest and extend forward. Release and let go. Take it to the other side. Taking the left leg, bend it down and grab. Dancer is a standing back bend. So we want to keep the hips and heart, shoulders open and square. Again, lifting through the heart, breathing through the heart space, and slowly bringing it forward. And release. Here we're going to step back with the right leg, coming into a nice warrior one or high lunge, your choice. We're going to take the hands out to a T, cross them right under left, bend the elbows, clasp the hands. Keep the shoulders down and back while the elbows are lifted. As we inhale, deepen the front knee. Exhale, lift the elbows towards the ceiling. Breathing here through the heart space, but also releasing into the throat chakra, which is where we're moving now. Release the arms. Bring the head to a neutral position and power with the front leg back to a standing position. We'll take it now to the other side. Stepping back, warrior one or high lunge, your choice. Keep the hips and shoulders square. Arms out to a T, left comes under. Bend the elbows, clasp the hands. Shoulders down, elbows up. Deepen the bend, lift through the heart, release through the throat. Release the hands, power through the front leg to come into a standing position. Continuing to focus here on the throat chakra, we're going to come to a nice standing position, taking the feet just a little bit apart. We're going to just pull the fists together, simply clasping our fingers, intertwining our fingers, and taking that fist and just inserting it right here under the chin. As we inhale, we're going to pull the arms up so they're almost framing the face. And then as we exhale, bring the belly into the spine, bring the elbows down. Just take that 3 more times. The intention here is to really make a nice contact with the fist and the wrist. Last one. We're going to move now, bringing the awareness from the throat chakra up into the third eye space. So we're going to have a nice seat onto the floor. We can come just into an easy pose. We're going to sit up nice and tall onto the sit bones. Just tune in here to that vertical line, smoothing out any kinks or bends that are unnecessary. Shifting the hips so the pelvis is perpendicular to the earth, shifting the shoulders so they're stacked onto the hips, keeping the ribs squeezed. Breathing here into the space, into yourself. We're going to begin to exhale, just bringing the gaze and the head into the earth. So if the third eye comes very accessible into the ground, just release and relax here. If you don't quite have that bend, and you're quite a distance from the floor, you have a couple of options. It could be double fist to create the contact with the third eye. You could take the hands at the chin and touch your third eye with the tips of your finger. Could take your forearm. If again it's quite a distance, we could use our arm to support our body and another hand to just make the contact onto the third eye chakra. Pressing here allows for greater integration and processing. So it's good to touch in with this third eye space when you're learning or doing new movement, new skills, acquiring new knowledge. We'll just take a few breaths here into this space, allowing the whole day's work, the breath, the movement, the energetic release, allowing it all to process and integrate. We'll gently rise the body up. And we're going to come into just a few finishing postures here, continuing to move the awareness and the energy from the base up through the head. So these last few postures work a bit with the throat chakra as well, a little bit with the third eye, but they're primarily now focused on the crown chakra. So we're going to move here onto our backs. And just begin to bring awareness now to this alignment as we're laying down, belly to the spine, pushing the spine into the ground, pushing the shoulders and opening the heart here on the mat. As we inhale, we'll bring the knees into the chest. And as we exhale, we'll extend the feet out towards the ceiling. With the next breath, we begin to bring the feet behind the head, lifting through the lower vertebrae. If the legs are resting, again, make some contact here on the third eye. If you need to support yourself with your hands, that's perfectly okay. We don't want to get into this posture through momentum or velocity. You want to get into it through muscular engagement, lifting through the muscles. From here, I usually like to kind of tuck my shoulders under. And you can see that that elevates the spine, elevates the bum. It also gives me a nice solid base to work with. I could release my hands here or palms down. From here, I want to make sure I keep a nice space in between my chest and my chin. So again, keeping a nice open throat. What's also very important is that I don't move my neck. I'm not moving my gaze from here out. I'm staring straight up at the ceiling as I lift both legs up towards the ceiling. You don't want a 100% straight line. You want a little internal rotation with the thighs, and you want a bit of a bend here in the pelvis. Okay? If you can try to take unsupported, coming up all the way onto the shoulders. Otherwise, you can support here or here. Lifting through the shoulders. Breathing here, again, maintaining as much space as you can in the throat chakra. As you exhale, you're going to slowly take the knees to either side of the ears. And this again becomes a posture for the third eye. Tucking the toes onto the ground for stability. We're going to now squeeze the knees into the ears. Keep the bum lifted. Breathing here through the lower back, but also through the throat chakra. Try to straighten the legs out if you can, directly behind the head. And then we're going to slowly bring the back vertebrae by vertebrae down to the earth, touching in here with the third eye chakra as much as we can. Once the hips are on the ground, we're going to bend the knees and come to a seated posture. Sometimes we might take this pose all the way down to Shavasana and end the practice, but we still need to move now into the crown chakra. So we're going to just finish off with a headstand, and I'm going to take headstand B, tripod or supported headstand. When we're finding our crown chakra, we have a couple of tips. If you just take your thumbs and place them almost like a headband, and where your index fingers meet and overlap is the exact spot of your crown chakra, as well as the exact size of the crown chakra. So this is where we want to be resting our head in these headstands. And even if we're not ready to get into a full headstand today, we can start to do some of the prep work. It's really important not to use the wall when you're doing a headstand. So the wall is only going to eliminate your sense of fear, but it will, in essence, sort of inhibit you from moving away from the wall later on, okay? So for today, we're gonna stay away from the wall. We're gonna take our hands and bring them right here on either side of the mat. just under the shoulders. And we want to be mindful of that place that we found. That was our crown chakra. And we're going to press the head right there, creating a bit of a triangle shape where our head and our hands are creating. We're going to walk the knees in a little, tuck the toes, and lift the bum. And then we're going to continue to walk the feet in as much as we can. And as you're going to see, my hips start to become right on top of my shoulders. If you're not there yet today, that's okay. Hold right here. This is a crown chakra posture. It doesn't matter if you're lifting your legs. You're making the contact with the crown chakra and the ground. From here, if you can walk it up a little further, it becomes easier to lift both feet up into handstand, into headstand. Keep the gaze unwavering. Keep pressing into the hands. It's not as much pressure on the head as sometimes we think. Slowly coming down. And once I've made contact with my feet in the earth, I gently bring 2 fists under my forehead and allow the vertebrae to equalize back in an uncompressed environment. Breathing here into each vertebrae. And when I feel ready, I just bring myself down to the earth and then onto my back. Coming into Shavasana, feet slightly apart, shoulders down and back, palms facing upward. And taking just 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes of relaxation, detaching from my awareness of breath, my awareness of thought, my awareness of body, and just relaxing, just being. So hopefully, after today's practice, your chakras will feel balanced and energized, and you can come back and check in for more videos later. Thanks.